go. We'd love to kind of double tap in on some of the iconic tracks, like for Give Up the Funk, right? So Give Up the Funk comes out, but for the recording session of it, like how does a song like Give Up the Funk come together? How is it written? How is it arranged? Like, does it start with like the chorus melody? Like, how do you make that all come together?
Oh, Give Up the Funk. Oh, I'll tell you, you'll hear it easily. Fame, dun, 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 dun. Fame, we want the funk.
Whoa.
Give up that funk. Oh, we need that thing, that tone and that one. I told the drummer one day we were listening and I heard that song. I said,
David Bowie.
David Bowie songs, yeah. Fame. I told our drummer, remember that beat. Yeah. Dun, 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 dun. Just remember that much. And we want the funk. Give. That's a whole nother thing. But just that one word, one note. Bang, just that. That was the beginning of the song.
It started with that?
There's just that one. It's a one on the one and exaggerated. But then I just put, we want the funk. Give up the funk. Instead of fame, we. And
that is crazy.
That's the feel of that was the feel of the song. And all the other stuff was just Bootsy playing in between, Bernie playing.
Just continuing it.
Yeah. And then the horn parts is, almost like big band arrangement. Like I said, we had Fred Maceo and all them were in there. So you had what James Brown was doing on dance music. You had that in a big arrangement now. But we were still clowning, we want to turn this mother. It was basically chants that we was doing on stage for years before we ever put the record out.
Was that Bernie that's choosing like, okay, let's start it with the drum groove and then the tear the roof off the sucker? Where does that come from?
That part of it, we just, Ray was always the secret weapon, the bass singer. Tear the roof off. That was always, that's a 1950 doo-wop move. Put that in there, and it worked real good in this new era with him singing, tear the roof off. We're going to tear the roof off. I did that part of it. And that you got a real type of thing going. That's the Motown chops. The hooks.
Yeah.
The Holland Dozier Holland, the Smokey Robinson. Motown was the king of hooks.
Dude. This is crazy because that song is all hooks too.
Yeah, but that's the other
Give Up the Funk is all hooks.
That's the other thing that I did. I exaggerated what Smokey Robinson would do all the time, and that put a lot of puns in the song. I overdid that. I did that till it became ridiculous. Matter of fact, that was part of our thing. Once I run out, then you had other comedians in the band who take pot shots at shit and add their 2 cents in it. And you get a lot of puns in most of our songs. Some of them didn't make any sense. Some of them was double entendres. Some of them just sounded like they should be in there. Had no reason for being in there at all.
Dude, that is so great. I'm going to listen to this song differently for the rest of my life now. That's amazing. What about Flashlight? What was the Flashlight session like? Was that the biggest party ever in the studio?
Oh no, that was really simple too, because Flashlight was a track that Boots gave me along with Funkadelic, and it was just Flashlight was guitar, bass, 2 guitars and a bass. That was just a track. 2 guitars, a bass, and Funkadelic was 2 guitars. And that was because, we needed, that was, the third album. We needed some songs from Bootsy. So he just gave me the first tracks he got his hands on and gave them to me. But when I got them, the guitars are so funky, they got them James Brown feels on them.
Oh, yeah.
Bernie had just gotten his Moog synthesizer. So what we did was he would play what Larry Graham from Sly Stone would have played if he was in the band. He was showing me how Larry would play the bass. That was Larry Graham, his interpretation of Larry Graham, but he's doing it on a Moog.
Yeah, because that's like right when the Moog came out,
That's
right
when the Moog came out. So it was
wow.
And he's got so much classical theory that he can make a theme out of that. Not just the same thing, but he could do his variations all the way through the whole song. So it's like a classical piece of music being played on a James Brown track. And if you listen at that bass there's no accidental notes nowhere on it. Even though he played a lot of stuff, all of it resolved just the way he wanted it to. And just the way they do in movie themes.
It's one of the greatest bass lines ever.
Right. Yeah. And that was the key to that. And the ha da da dee da 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 da. That was my 5th grade best friend's bar mitzvah melody. His name was Myron Sanford. Myron. I forgot Myron Sanford something. Myron.
No, I can't unhear that.
Yes, you did. His mother used to say, Myron, you and George come in for sandwiches and soup. And he had to do his bar mitzvah, whatever it was, rehearsal. He's getting ready to be, whatever, his bar mitzvah. And we was no more than 12, 13. And his ha da da dee da ha da 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 ha da da dee. So that's the melody that stuck with me all my life.
Oh my God! So you already had that melody when you were a teenager kid from a bar mitzvah, and then all of a sudden, what? 20 years later, Flashlight comes out, or you're recording Flashlight, and you're like, "Wait, I got a hook for this. I got a melody.
I got da da dee da 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 da." It just worked so perfectly in that song. Matter of fact, I used it in 2 or 3 songs.
Oh my God, dude! It's so genius. You don't hear it as like obviously you just hear it as like this funk epic choral melody. You don't think like a Jewish bar mitzvah.
As soon as you hear it, you know that's where that came from.
It's a bar mitzvah song.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Well, Flashlight should now be a bar mitzvah song, actually.
Yeah, it really should do, just like Atomic Dog did with the Q's.
Oh, dude.
I mean, look at Q Dogs. They picked up Atomic Dog, and it's been their theme forever.
Oh, dude, this is so great. Okay, what about One Nation Under a Groove? Which is just even the best tagline and everything. And
One Nation, that one was magic because we had just gotten a case of like 3 different brand new keyboards, Yamaha, that just donated or gave us, 3 new keyboards. Junie Morrison, who was in Ohio Players, had just joined the band. He had just joined the band, so we going in the studio, and we got these 3 new keyboards. One guy was named Doug Duffy, was from New Orleans. He played keys. I forgot who he played with, but he just happened to be with us. And Bernie. So they opened their Yamahas up, and they was setting them up and getting used to these brand new keyboards, really advanced sounds on them. Gary Scheider, who was this guitar and singer, came in and he had a guy with him that was playing a banjo. I don't even remember the guy's name, but Gary had taught him the chords to this riff that he was playing. So he was teaching the guy that. Junie, Bernie, and Duffy joined right in with him while Gary was showing them. And next thing you know, we had that. One Nation. The figure that they playing. Bernie and Junie is playing something that they remembered from their rehearsals in classical music.
Wow.
Whatever their lick was, they was related because when you hear them two, they both playing similar thing, one behind the other. They both was reciting it back and forth to each other, all that, but it was in conjunction with this groove that Gary and this banjo guy was playing. Yep. And that was at the beginning of that track when we put it down. Bernie put the bass on it, again with the mood. And I just went in and ad-libbed, One Nation Under a Groove, and did it, and then brought the vocals in, and we all overdubbed on it. Now, when we finally finished putting all the vocals on it, you make a little cassette after each session to see what you did for that day. We ran a cassette after we'd done the vocals, and we figured we'd come back in next week and mix it. We came back in next week, mixed it. The week after that, we did that for about 2 months, trying to mix it. And the mixes, none of them was as good as the cassette mix that we had when we put the voices on. So we end up using the cassette mix. It was never mixed and mastered.
Wow.
The song was never mixed. We tried to mix it. We spent a fortune trying to mix it with all the new equipment, but none of them sounded as good as that cassette mix that we had. So
the magic was there in the cassette mix. That's crazy.
And it ended up being the master mix.
Wow. Okay, I got to ask you about Atomic Dog because
oh god,
one thing in particular. Okay, the beat, right? The beat of Atomic Dog. So I remember when we did the Jam together, Benzel invited me to come and play drums with you guys. So we did double drums. So I was on drums and Benzel was on drums, and I had the sample on the pad. He gave me the sound, right? And I was like, oh, it's easy. It's kick, snare. But it's not easy because of where the earliness of the like, and Benzo was trying to explain it to me, and I was like, how is this so impossibly hard to play what sounds like the simplest beat?
You know what it is? That's actually two different drummers. The foot and the snare is actually Dennis on the snare and Gary Cooper on the foot. Dennis did the drums, played the solo first, and I wanted to put a different foot on there. So I had Bone dub the session in, but when we got ready to mix it, we liked it what Dennis was doing on the snare, but we liked it what Bone was doing on the foot. So you actually had both of them, but you also had the drum machine on there playing it backwards.
That's playing it backwards.
We put it on forward, flip the tape over, and so now you got the matter of fact, that's how I dubbed in on it. I sang with it going like that, not knowing that it was backwards. I came in tripping,
in the moment.
For the moment, I was tripping my ass off, needing to be tripping or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
So I rushed my way in there and just took over the session and dubbed in before I knew what the beat was. And when the beat came on, I couldn't tell what key it was in because all you had was the beat in the backwards stuff. So there was no key. So that's why I'm talking. This is the story of famous dogs. For the dog that chases his tail will be busy. I'm trying to wait for the key to see what key is in. and it never comes into a key. So I just end up, why must I feel like that? Why must I chase the cat? Nothing but the dog. And I did everything atonal. And run on through it. And then when Gary and them came in, they put their harmony over the top of the atonal. Why must I feel like that? Why must? So it's actually, that was the sound of the song, and it was backwards, so we had to leave it that way. Then we put the drummers on Bone and put them on right. But when we mixed it, we mixed one foot and one snare.
Wow. God, it'd be so crazy to hear the original of just like the drums and then like your monotone vocal.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we've done that a few times.
Man. And was that like, so yeah, you're tripping at the time. Is that like the craziest kind of timeline for you? Like the moment of George?
Oh, that one was like the peak of the craziness. That, not that it ended there, it stayed. It got worse every now and then, but not. That was like one of the craziest, but it worked out good because the song came out much better than it should have come out.
It all worked out.
It all worked out, and with all the different things that I did,
Yeah.
Like I said, put Dennis on the drummer, then put Bone on it, then try to remix it in Detroit where I used to mix everything. I ended up going to Miami and mixing it at Criteria. That's where the Bee Gees was at, and it was a fresh thing. But it also came up with a whole new sound for that particular track, which, like I said, was really weird. There was never another track like that.
Yeah,
that's
ever.
what you can't plan that kind of stuff.
No, you can't plan it. And so, like, I mean, you're tripping. You're like you're going crazy at that time, but you're still leading. Like, you're still moving everything forward, getting the vision out. Like, how on earth? How did you do that?
I think I was lucky that time. I don't want to have to do it like that no more. Because I can remember just how bad I felt that particular day. You know, I'm thinking the world is against me, but hey, no, that's just how it is. Get your ass on in there and record. That's what you have to do.
Go with Elmo. 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 This is the stuff, man.